Good morning. Welcome to 49ers in 5, your daily update on everything happening with the team that you need to know. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. The 53-man roster is officially out, and we'll get into a couple surprises, a couple things you need to know, and then we will go through the entire team. First up on the surprises, Elijah Mitchell's season is over. He's going on season-ending IR due to a hamstring injury. And that means Jordan Mason is officially RB2. I know a lot of you wanted to see that happen. It will happen this year. Next up, Talanoa Hufanga was activated from the physically unable to perform list. So that tells you the 49ers expect him back within the first 4 weeks of the season, because remember, if you start the year on PUP, you have to miss 4 weeks. Niners are saying Talanoa Hufanga is going to be back before then. That's obviously good news. Next up, the Niners cut 5 tight ends yesterday. Cam Latu, Braden Willis, Logan Thomas, Eric Saubert, and Mason Pline were all cut. That leaves just 2 on the team right now, George Kittle and Jake Tonjes. Now, you could throw Kyle Juszczyk in there to be kind of like a de facto third tight end, but maybe a move is still to come. Couple other things to know. If you look at the roster, you're not going to see Dre Greenlaw's name because he's going to open the year on the PUP list, so he doesn't count on the 53-man roster. The same thing applies to Trent Williams, not because he's on PUP, because he hasn't reported yet. He's holding out. He's on the did not report list. He's not technically on the roster. Don't worry. They didn't cut Trent Williams. And last but not least, Trent Taylor was cut. So that means Jacob Cowing is your punt returner. Now let's look at the entire list. First up on the offense, 3 quarterbacks, Brock Purdy, Brandon Allen, and Josh Dobbs. 4 running backs, CMC, Jordan Mason, Patrick Taylor Jr., and Isaac Guerendo. Fullback 1, we know who it is. 2 tight ends, as I mentioned, Kittle and Tonjes. 7 wide receivers on the team. Debo, Brandon Aiyuk, Jawan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, Jacob Cowing, Chris Conley, and Ronnie Bell, surprisingly. 8 offensive linemen. Jalen Moore, Aaron Banks, Jake Brendel, Dominic Pooney, Colton McKivitz, Spencer Burford, Nick Zakel, and John Feliciano. Now to the defense. 9 defensive linemen on the squad. Bosa, Javon Hargrave, Malik Collins, Leonard Floyd, Yetur Gross-Matos, Kevin Givens, Jordan Elliott, Robert Beal, and Sam Okwanu. 6 linebackers, Fred Warner, Devondre Campbell, Demetrius Flanagan-Foles, D. Winters, Tatum Bethune, and Curtis Robinson. Don't forget Dre Greenlaw, as I said. 6 corners, Mooney Ward, Diamador Lenore, Isaac Yadam, Renardo Green, Darrell Luter, and Ambry Thomas. More on him in a minute. 4 safeties, Jair Brown, George Odom, Malik Mustafa, Talanoa Hufanga. And of course, we know the specialists, Jake Moody, Mitch Wishnowsky, and Tabor Pepper. We love you, Tabor. We always give you one thing to read, one thing to watch, and one thing you might have missed. One thing to read on this Wednesday. If you want to take a deep dive into how quarterbacks are working to improve their accuracy, The Athletic did just that, including Brock Purdy, by the way. He's featured in this article as well. So kind of an interesting thing about all the science and the stuff that they use. If you want to read it, check it out. The link is in the description of this episode. One thing to watch. I mentioned more to come on Ambry Thomas and John Feliciano. So the Niners used a little strategery here when it comes to the roster. They put them on the initial roster, even though they know very soon they're going to move both to injured reserve. The reason they didn't do it right away is because, remember, you get 8 players that you can take from injured reserve and return to the roster. If the Niners had put them on injured reserve right away, they would have had to immediately decide whether or not they wanted to use one of those 8 spots on those players. So by waiting, the 49ers can put them on IR later and then decide months from now, maybe, if they want to bring them back so they can see how they're healing before they make that decision, so they don't accidentally use one of those 8 slots on somebody that's not actually going to come back. So very smart by the Niners. 2 more faces probably joining this team before the start of the regular season. One thing you may have missed, there are upgrades coming to Levi's Stadium. 49ers announced yesterday they are investing $200 million into Levi's because, don't forget, they're going to host the Super Bowl and the World Cup in 2026. So what are those upgrades? Well, enhanced Wi-Fi and video boards that the team says will give the stadium the largest 4K display in the league for 2025. Other renovations, improved luxury suites, yay. Frictionless concession stands, which means you can just pay from your phone, the creation of a new club, and a new LED field lighting system. That's a wrap on today's 49ers in 5. Please rate, review, and follow the Gold Standard Podcast Network wherever you get your audio pods. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Click the bell to get notified every single time we go live, which is every single weekday for you. Today, I will be live with Grant Cohn, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Haven't done it in a couple weeks. Looking forward to that. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, everybody. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. We'll talk later today.